Okay, so what we're going to do with this client here, this client is getting what's called a density fill. So what I'm going to do is we're going to reconstruct his hairline. We're going to bring in his sidebars and we're going to drop down his hairline, all to make it symmetric with his shape of his head, his age, making it age appropriate. And we're going to go in and look and see, get an inside peek on how I design hairlines. So for the first step in terms of sketching out this hairline, I like to work from the bottom up, okay? As a barber, I'm able to still see the stubble. I'm able to still see the stubble around the temple area. And that's what allows me to have a foundation as I build up the hairline from the sideburn going up. It gives me a foundation in terms of the appropriate placement of the hairline. Okay, this is a really expanded view. You can still see his stubble that he has there. And what we do, we leverage that stubble. Now, of course, I'm not going to bring the hairline all the way down to the outer parts of his stubble, but this gives me the overall foundation on which to build the hairline, okay? And that's one of the things, as a barber, I can still see the stubble on where his hair actually still grows. So we're going to use that as a foundation, okay, as we come around his temple area. This gentleman right now is probably on the Norwood scale of hair loss, probably a 6, probably like a 5 or 6. Considerable amount of thinning in the top, considerable amount of recession on the sides, and hairline area. You can see the discoloration right in here, okay? And that discoloration over time, that is from going into the barbershop week after week and getting shaped up, a lot of times with really, really sharp clippers. And those burn marks occur just from repeated shape ups over throughout the years. But nevertheless, that gives me a great indication on where his hairline should actually fall. Okay, so we're going to use that as a indication in terms of where we should go. So we're just going to go ahead and bring this up. Okay. Now you can see how far he's recessed. Okay, we have a lot of distance to cover. All right, so we're going to bring it on up. Now with the hairline, his front hairline, we're not going to bring that too far down in terms of his front hairline. We're going to maintain where his front hairline is, but you can see in the corner areas, it can definitely be brought down some. So this is the first pass, and we're going to sketch it through and then connect it right there in the front area. Okay, so let me pull back and we can see. All right, now check this out. Now once again, we can see how much distance we're covering in terms of where his hairline is. Let me get some blue in there. In terms of where his hairline is and where we're going to take it, okay? So the distance here, look at that distance that we're going to cover. All right, we're going to bring it around the top. And these are all considerations that go into the designing and the sculpting and the starting to get funny now. The just start coming up with some terms. This comes in with the designing, the refining, the lining of the hairline. Okay. Now, one side note within the temple area, again, we're just going to bring that sidebar down just above his temple. So now I can go in and erase the actual area in his sideburn under his lower temple. So let's go in there and erase that. Erase, erase, erase. Okay. So now okay. All right. So the other portion of this that we're going to add pigment in on the top and gradually blend it into his existing hair. Okay. So it needs to be indicated by the white dots here. Okay. So all of this area here, this will be the boundary. Okay. We can see taking it all the way back in his crown area. All of this area here will be filled in. Very interesting, isn't it? Okay.